On Christmas Eve, a judge dismissed Kari Lake's election challenge lawsuit in the state of Arizona, effectively ending, finally, the 2022 primary elections. Not primary elections, excuse me, midterm elections. Sorry, living in the past a little bit. But it's over, right? Kari Lake does not have a chance to become governor of Arizona, thank God. And the judge gave everybody a Christmas present by throwing out this lawsuit. But if you think it's over, you are kidding yourselves. Oh, not because Kari Lake might appeal it. She might, but it's not going to go anywhere. The reason it's not over is because the judge in the order specifically said there may be sanctions coming down the pipeline for Kari Lake's legal team. Much like 3 weeks ago when another case was thrown out that Kari Lake had filed challenging the election, where those lawyers also were sanctioned by the court. And the judge left open in this decision the possibility of these lawyers as well facing more sanctions for filing such a knowingly frivolous and fictitious lawsuit. And then, a day after the judge said that, officials in Maricopa County, who effectively had to serve as the defendants in the case, they were the ones being sued by Kari Lake, they said, yeah, we're 100% going to petition for sanctions against Kari Lake's legal team in addition to expenses. Because Maricopa County had to hire their lawyers, and the lawyer's the one who actually came out and made that statement. They incurred fees, they had to pay court costs, they had to do all of this to fight this fictitious, frivolous lawsuit. And they want their money back, and I'd say they're entitled to it, especially based on the judge's decision here. But here's the fun part. As I mentioned 3 weeks ago, a previous judge, Judge John Tucci, Mr. Tucci, Judge Tucci, Your Honor, issued sanctions against Kari Lake's legal team at the time, which of course included Alan Dershowitz, for filing a lawsuit they knew they had no evidence to file. On top of that, they also knew that they weren't legally able to even file it yet. So they screwed up big time. In the most recent one, which was the refile of the original case, Lake's lawyers claimed that all of these people in Maricopa County were disenfranchised. Unfortunately for them, they were not able to go into court, and the judge gave them the opportunity. If I were him, I'd have dismissed it outright. But the judge gave them the opportunity with the second refiling. Come in, show me what you got. And they had nothing. In fact, their own expert witness, as I discussed in a video over the weekend, basically said that their own claims were bogus. The guy got paid $250 to say that. It's not bad. But the judge dismissed it because they couldn't prove a single thing they claimed. They claimed that hundreds of people, thousands maybe, were disenfranchised. They couldn't point to a single ballot that wasn't counted. They couldn't point to a single person that was disenfranchised, so these lawyers are going to face the legal repercussions for filing this fictitious lawsuit on behalf of Kari Lake. But don't you fret. Kari Lake's going to be fine. Which I think, by the way, is a little bit ridiculous here. So when these sanctions come down, and they will, it's only the lawyers that filed it that'll get in trouble. And depending on the way they want to go, the judges, these lawyers could get in real trouble. They could be sanctioned by the state, they could lose their license, they could be disciplined by the bar and unable to ever try a case in the state of Arizona again. That's how serious this is. And not a thing will happen to Kari Lake, the individual who hired the lawyers to file the lawsuit. She's not facing any kind of sanctions because that's not how this works. The lawyers, of course, should have told her, you don't have a case, we're not going to file, we could get in trouble for that. But they didn't. So they do deserve what's coming. But I think Kari Lake does as well. So as these lawyers, now sitting there worried about their legal future, understanding the jeopardy that they're in, they're worrying, what's Kari Lake doing? Well, she's doing what she's been doing for the last month. She's down there partying at Mar-a-Lago. She's gearing up to go to all these Republican speaking events, Turning Points USA, the Log Cabin Republicans. They're all having her as a featured speaker. She is making tons of money, making lots of connections, having a ton of fun, while the people she hired to file this fictitious lawsuit are worried that they may lose their entire livelihood. She knew this was going to fail, but she also knew she had nothing to lose. The lawyers did. And they're going to get what they deserve. Kari Lake, on the other hand, has won more by losing than she ever would have if she'd actually won that election. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.